Hello everyone, my name is Destiny. In today's video, my sweet mother-in-law Gaby will be sharing some of her backyard chicken knowledge with all of us. This is perfect if you're interested in homesteading and self-sufficiency, or even if you just want to know more about chickens. I hope you enjoy this video, and welcome to the Fluffy Butt Hut.
They were hatched on June the 1st, 2020. June the 3rd, I get a call from the post office and they said, your babies have arrived. They arrived from Ohio from a chicken hatchery, and now babies can travel as soon as they are a day old, and if they only travel 2 days, they have a 3-day supply of yolk left in their bellies, so they can go without food and water for 3 days. So 5:30, I got up, ran to the post office and got them, and they were tweeting out of their boxes, and then we put them into this container. Let me show you. It's a 150-gallon Rubbermaid container, commercial. It's got a drain, so you can always clean it. And see?
Yes.
From water, so you can rinse it with water, and it's nice. I got this at Big R. You can probably get it at a tractor supply store, farm supply store. And we had it upside down, obviously. We put newspaper, and we also switched to we put puppy pads on there.
Okay.
So that we could always keep it clean. And every day I had to switch out the puppy pads. We had a food container about this big where they had holes in it where they could eat their chick starter. And then I had first thing I gave them when they came home was electrolytes, because they had been without food and water for 3 days. And once they had held that down really good, we had them obviously under a heat lamp as soon as they came in. Then 2 hours later, I started them on chick starter, and they loved it. As they were eating the chick starter, when they were about 10 days old, we started adding chick grit. They grew right up in here.
How long did it take them to grow to adult size?
We didn't dare take them out into the weather until they were about 3 weeks old, 2 to 3 weeks old, and had feathers. When they had feathers, they could come out here, and they would huddle together if they were cold, but if the sun was out like this, it was fine. So after about 2 months, they had to have their own coop, and we put in a 7 by 7 foot coop. Nice high ceilings, lots of a vent on one side, and then the window on the other side, and a good door. And then Richard made that little side door that they go in and out of, that little hole. It's about 12 by 12, and they comfortably fit in it. And it has a locking mechanism at night so that the predators can't get in, because we do have raccoons, and we do have other nocturnal animals that like to come. We also built the coop on a cement foundation. Oh, you guys want something? Okay, I'll give you some more meal here. They've known that call ever since they were babies. This is my treat box, and I have scratch. I have alfalfa cubes, and they don't like them too much, but they do take them. And I have scratch. And I always go for the organic stuff. They love the scratch. And feed them mealworms.
Oh, and why do you feed them that?
Protein. They go crazy over that. So the alfalfa, they like to scratch it. They get just a little bit, and I put it like right there, They're gonna start scratching that after they're done with their treats.
And what's the purpose of them scratching?
The scratch is because there's nothing green on here.
Mm-hmm.
It satisfies the urge to scratch, and they can eat the flowers.
Oh.
See, it has a look at here. If you look in here, all these little green things,
Mm-hmm.
they like to eat those. Watch. See how they like eating them.
Yes.
They eat out of this, and it's watertight so that their feed stays nice and
Dry.
dry. Yeah, and then they eat it out of here. See the 3 holes.
Nice. Is that what they usually eat? Like their main source?
This is the main protein for layering, and then this is called chicken grit. This is what they need if they don't have a lot of rocks on the floor. They like this. They eat it for their crops, because if you put grit or little rocks, if they put little rocks in their crop, they use that to chew their food, to digest it. Here's my little water container. And this one, the reason the water is brown, because I put a supplement, a mineral and vitamin supplement in there for strong eggs. One egg is a rotten egg. So here we have the brooder, the brooder boxes for them to lay down and do their eggs. Oh, we got some eggs.
Ooh.
Yay.
Awesome.
Yeah. 3. Oh, they were good today. We got 4.
4? Wow.
So these have on them what's called bloom. And it's a coating that the mom puts on the eggs to keep them from spoiling. So if they are fertilized, they last a long time. But you can actually put these eggs on a countertop in your kitchen for about 3 weeks, as long as you don't wash them. If you wash them, you need to put them in the fridge for 1 to 2 weeks, and it'll last good. And if you hang your water up a little higher, I had it up here and it was filled up with a lot of straw. Does it? So I hung it higher, and now it doesn't get as dirty. And you just put hay. Just put this hay in there. They love this hay. Just put it in your coop, and they just love it. And I put it about 2 to 3 inches of that on the floor. And that's why it doesn't smell, because it's just really dry in here. Because Richard put a vent here. And then we also have this window open in the summertime all the time. This is the heater. So if you come over here.
Okay.
See, we put gravel, and we put a stone, and then we put 3 3-wick candles, and then I turned those on, and it's dusty. I got to clean it up. But we put 3 rocks, because see, on the bottom, if you see that over here, they have holes. Those are vent holes, and we have them every few inches. We have them, and then the heat comes out here. And so we turn the candles on, and then we put this on there. This is our heater. This is the radiator. This will get really warm, and then this gets warm, and then the heat comes out here, and it keeps the temperature really nice. I mean, it could be negative 10 degrees, and it'll be 20 to 40 degrees in here. So in the wintertime, they stay really, really safe.
And how long does it take for them to lay an egg?
Depending on how fast they want to get rid of it. I've seen them do it as fast as a half an hour from the time they sit down to. Sometimes they sit there for hours and just enjoy the coolness, and then they get ready. What? What, baby? What do you want?
So how many eggs does a chicken lay on average?
Every 2 to 3 days, they lay an egg. So sometimes you'll get 1 egg, sometimes you get 4, sometimes depending on wherever they are, whatever they feel like. And then this is for the broody chicken at night, because we want to make sure that if they brood and they want to have a nest, they can't. So all they can lay on is this, and it keeps them cool at night. That it breaks the cycle of them being broody.
Okay, and what is broody? What does
Wanting
that
to
mean?
lay on an egg that's fertilized and have babies.
Oh.
And if you have a no rooster, you don't get fertilized eggs.
Right. And what kind of chickens do you have? What kind of breed are they?
These are called buff orpingtons.
Mm-hmm.
They're the friendliest backyard chicken you can have. They're not competitive with each other. They have a pecking order, but they're very docile. As you could tell, they were not afraid of me. They're very cold resistant, up to 10 degrees. Negative 10 degrees.
Mm.
And the summertime, they can tolerate heat fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a good starter chicken, get a buff orpington. They're single combed, which means they have only one comb.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just very hardy. You can't go wrong with them. They just eat and make eggs. See, they have different characteristics to their eggs. Sometimes they have blotches, but this is a different hue, and even those are slightly different too. They have more pink to them, and so some of them are. This is a little more pink. This is a little more tan. You can see the difference.
Yeah, there's different variation.
And then they have little dots on them too. See the texture.
Have you ever had a bad egg before?
They have humps. Never. They get eaten before they get a chance to get that.
Right.
I've had an egg with a double yolk before. It was a bigger egg. You could tell it was a... And sometimes the same age chickens will make bigger eggs. And it all depends on their diet. If they get a lot of calcium, if they get a lot of protein, and they vary it with the plants that they get, like the scratch and the mealyworms and the alfalfa.
And so can they eat anything pretty much, or is there some certain things that they can't eat?
I would not feed them tomatoes, nothing nightshade, no nightshade plants. Also, when you give them scraps, vegetable scraps, they will eat them more readily if after you peel your veggie, if you cut the peel into smaller pieces. They're spoiled. These guys are really, really spoiled.
Is this enough room for them for 10 chickens?
Oh my goodness, yes.
What's the minimum amount of space for 10 chickens?
I think for a chicken coop of 10, 7 feet is nice. 7 by 7 is a nice. Because did you also notice they have different perches?
Yes.
They can perch. There's many different places for them besides the brooder boxes. The brooder boxes to do that. When they have their mouth open like this, they're thirsty.
Oh, okay.
So she'll probably go grab some water. There
Looks
she goes.
like, yep.
She's thirsty.
Yep, she's thirsty.
Yeah. So I have 2 waterers out. I have one in the front here, and I have one in the chicken coop.
Okay.
So that way when they get in the nighttime, sometimes I like to let them in a little early if I have to go somewhere, because I don't want them to stay out. I mean, they'll go into the coop, but I don't want the door open when we're gone because of predators. One day, Bertha's eyes started to ooze and not do well, and we thought maybe she got pecked, but I think what happened is she was ranging free, and some of our bushes had thorns on them, and I think she didn't see, and so she probably poked her eye out.
Oh, yeah.
And then the chickens finished the rest because they didn't like it, so they started pecking at her. And I just kept doing antibiotics cream on it, and she did fine. And she's our alert baby. I mean, she's our chicken dog, our alarm chicken.
Yeah.
So one night Bertha will watch over all the flock. That's Bertha. See? It's my little Bertha. It's like, I want that ring. That ring's tasty. She makes her own sounds. She's just a sweetheart. She's my favorite.
Aww.
So this is my compost pile. Not him. This one here. So what I did is, there's 3 things you need. You need grass clippings. You need composting stuff. I'm an espresso nut, so I have lots of ground coffee. So what we're going to do is just make a layer of the compost. And this you do this with anything you can find. Now what they want you to do is they use a compost starter. You can get this at any landscaping or nursery. And what they want you to do is to compost this, you have to have layers. So this is a good 6-inch layer. That's what they want you to start with. And so at the bottom of the bin, you build a layer of organic material. And you should have alternating layers of leaves and soil with like 1 cup of the compost maker. And so then what you do is, Rhea, move baby girl, go get a ball. So what you do is you cover the compost pile with just a little bit of soil. And then you add a cup of the compost maker, which has all the bacteria. You see how this looks? Mm-hmm. It's just black stuff, and it helps to decompose with the soil. The soil gets it started, so this is like the seeds for the, and you only need like a whole cup. So this is like a 1/4 cup. And you just put it on the soil. That's just kind of to hold the stuff in and help it decompose.
Oh, okay.
And then you put more soil in it. That's about 3/4. And that's about 1 cup. So after that, what you're going to do, it says you add the layers. And after you do the layers, what you're going to do is you're going to finish it with some more soil. The soil, what it's going to do, it's going to help when it rains or when you wet it. Mm-hmm. It's going to help the compost pile to stay nice and wet. So you do this, and then after making it wet every day for a little bit, and tonight it's going to rain, so I'm not even going to bother with making it wet. I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm going to let it settle, and it's going to settle. You see that? It's going to get into the holes of everything. What you want to do is, you don't necessarily need to wait, but I'm going to get this started for next time. We're going to put, this is from the chicken coop. It has chicken poop in it. And it's the first, you can put you just layer. And so as I clean out the chicken coop, I'm going to add more of that material on there.
And you can include the hay in it as well?
Yeah. The hay used to be, you can barely recognize it. It's more powdery than anything now, but it used to be straw. It was really awesome.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
It is so interesting to see how to take care of chickens. It is great for a beginner, whether you want chickens for your backyard or homestead. Pretty soon, my family and I will be getting chickens of our own, which is really exciting. I hope you guys learned something new like I did, and thank you, Gaby, so much for sharing your knowledge with us.